Amen, amen, amen. So listen, let's get into um today's lesson. Today's lesson, I'm going to kick off our sermon series, our brand new sermon series, which is titled Just Give. And today's message is a powerful message, and it's entitled Giving You the Best That I Got. And so basically, this new series that I'm getting ready to introduce to you today is this month we're teaching all about giving. We're studying the principles of giving found in the Bible, and we're studying how God designed giving to teach us about his power. And also, we learned that by adhering to God's laws concerning giving, that we operate in God's divine plan for our finances. And we understand that when we operate according to God's law, then it changes everything. And so I want you guys to be prepared for today. Today going to be a little Bible collegey. It ain't going to be boring or nothing like that. But today I seek to grow you, and instead of preaching entertaining you, I want to edify you on today. So Wednesday we kicked off our teaching series, which is also Just Give, which is called Understanding the Principles of Giving. And so Wednesday I gave you a definition, and I gave you the definition of the word giving. And I told you that giving means to present something voluntarily and without expecting compensation. It means to pass something to someone, or to pass off something, to transfer something to someone, to give back, to return, to restore. And I also taught you that one of the most powerful definitions of giving is to be granted or to grant access. And so, in other words, we're going to learn that when we give, we are granted access. Okay, so the definition of giving means when you give something voluntarily without expecting a payback, without expecting to get something back. That's what giving is. And so, let's get into today's message. And before we get into today's message, I want to let me do it like this. This is what I want to do. Let me break it down to you like this. Before we get into today's scriptures, I want to talk about three things that contain today's scriptures: the temple, the coin, and the widow. The temple, the coin, and the widow. Today's scriptures are going to mention those things. So there's three tangible things that stood out in today's scriptures, and we're going to read them. The first one is the temple or the treasury. The temple or the treasury. Now, the treasury was a place where they brought their offerings, or it's the place where they gave to. Um, the temple held a treasury. We hear all throughout the Bible, it says it refers to the temple as being the storehouse. The storehouse, what it was talking about was the treasury. And so the temple is also referred to as the storehouse. And so when they set it up for people to give, what happened was people would come to the temple and they would lay out 13 different bowls, metal bowls or metal chests, and they lined them up in a row, and each of them had an inscription on it. And that inscription signified what the offerings will be used for. So, for example, if you gave to this, if you gave to this bowl, it said this one is going out to Dallas, Texas. We helping the kids in Dallas, Texas with this. We're helping the people in this community in this bowl. So each of the boxes had insignia on it, or they had something on it letting the people know what the money was going to be used for. And so we're going to hear about the treasury today. And then we're getting ready to read about the coins. Now, what's so significant about the coins? These coins, they didn't have paper money back then. They had coins, and they traded animals and they traded things. But the money was coins. And so these metal bowls or these metal chests, because of the way they were constructed, when you threw your change in there, when you threw your coins in there, it made a noise. It cling, 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 cling. It, you can tell how much somebody gave based on how loud it was. You see, if you only gave 2 coins, it's gonna be like clink, clink. But if you gave a big old bag of coins, like pour them in there, it's gonna be loud because it's gonna be banging up against the metal. And so we're gonna read about these 2 mites, or these 2 little coins. And these copper coins, they were so small that when you added them up, they were less than a penny, what we would call a penny, which is our smallest coin here in America. And so we're going to learn about the temple or the treasury. We're going to learn about the coins, but then we're going to learn about the widow. And so what you got to understand about this widow is that this widow lost her husband. The definition of a widow is a woman who lost her husband to death. And so her being a widow means that she was a wife. And if she was a wife back then, it means that she was dependent on her husband. And if her husband died, then she had to go live with her father's household. She had to go back to the next person who was in charge of her. If her father was not alive and she did not have an adult son, she would be all alone. And she could not possess any of her own property or property that she held once with her husband. And so widows back then, these widows, you got to understand the magnitude of this, because I have to give you the backstory on it so you can understand what I'm going to teach you today. These widows were entirely without resources. These widows, they were legally subordinate to their male relatives. And so let's get into today's scriptures.
We're so excited that you've chosen to worship with us today. Hope Houston Outreach Church is a virtual Christian ministry with the assignment of offering hope and healing to those in need all over the world. We meet each Sunday at 10 a.m. Central for the Flow Worship Service and at 7 p.m. Central for interactive Bible study on Wednesdays. Outreach is who we are. As a matter of fact, it's a part of our name. H2O stands for Hope Houston Outreach. Every month, we partner with local and global organizations to make a difference because that's who God called us to be. If you're interested in learning more about our ministry, connect with us on social media, comment, and share our posts, or you can email us at hopehoustinoutreachchurch@gmail.com. We are so excited that you've chosen to worship with us today, and we hope to see you again soon.
Amen, amen, amen. And so we talking about the temple, the coins, and the widow. And so let's look at today's scriptures. Today's scriptures can be found in Mark chapter 12, verse 41 through 44, the ESV version. And so the scriptures read, and he sat down opposite the treasury and watched the people putting money into the offering box. Many rich people put in large sums, and a poor widow came and put in 2 small copper coins, which make a penny. And he called his disciples to him and said to them, "Truly I say to you, this poor widow has put in more than all those who are contributing to the offering box." Verse 44. For they all contributed out of their abundance, but she out of her poverty has put in everything she had to live on. My God. For they all contributed out of their abundance, but she out of her poverty has put in everything she had to live on. My God, today. H2O Church. The title of today's message is Giving You the Best That I Got. So I want you to write on the top of your hope pads, giving you the best that I got. I need somebody to write that in the comments. Giving you the best that I got.